So they will be taking a look at a scenario where the Holy City's blue team from Adizz Pro's Wixo came to the real world. Now the Holy City's blue team is the second country in Adizz Pro's Wixo and a very important one. And here they are on the map, so we'll see what will happen if they were a real country, and let's get straight in the video. Now the Holy City's blue team is fairly known for being sort of expansionist, so they will go straight into invading, and they will begin with Kuwait and UAE, also Oman. Now the Holy City's blue team is a very strong country, so I don't need to explain why these countries will fall so quickly, because they were also very crippled and they lost a lot of land to the Holy City's blue team. So let's get into this peace treaty. So as you can see in this peace treaty, the Holy City's blue team fully annexed over Kuwait, the UAE and Oman, and now they will waste no time and get straight into their next target, which will be Saudi Arabia, which for some reason annexed Kuwait. I don't know why that is, but we really do not care about this, because now we will see the Holy City's blue team quickly move across Saudi Arabia. They will immediately advance into their southern parts, almost taking the entire thing, but Saudi Arabia is a fairly stronger country but still crippled, so we will see this area falling pretty quickly. Credit to Saudi Arabia, they still managed to push the Holy City's blue team out a little and even advance a little into their territory, but not too much, as the Holy City's blue team is still a stronger country and also advance here, but it's not really that important, as now they will be pushed out of the nation. Same with these parts, and now all of the Qatar area will fall over to the blue team. And now we'll see the Holy City's blue team start to push over into Saudi Arabia, taking lots of territory, and after a little bit of fighting, not a lot, we'll see Saudi Arabia fully capitulating over to the blue team. So let's see this peace treaty. Now the Holy City's blue team fully annexed over Saudi Arabia, and now they go for the entire peninsula, and they decide to invade over in Yemen, and Yemen is Yemen and Yemen is not strong, so let's just say that the blue team will sweep across this land without any problems and just take the entire thing. Also, yeah, they take their island, Socotra. Goodbye Yemen, hello blue team. But now we will see the blue team go in a little bit of a more of a peaceful period. They start to assimilate their new territories, and after that little bit of peace, we will now see them declaring war on Jordan, but their expansive policies have affected them, and now we'll see Iraq, Syria, Lebanon and Palestine join this war against the blue team. I think this is the first time when I used blue for the attacker, but you know, it's their color, so it makes sense. They will quickly pass through Jordan and almost take the entire nation. But now we'll see Iraq moving across Kuwait and their areas that they used to own and take some land across here, but they will quickly be stopped by the blue team's army, which will go right in and just push them back completely. They lost all their advances into the blue team, and now we will see them advance into Iraq. And you know, now the blue team is pretty unstoppable, and no one will come to the help of countries like Iraq because of how interestingly aggressive they are. I'm sure you can ask this guy, I'm sure he will be very happy with helping Iraq. Now Jordan will fall quickly, followed by Palestine with military access through Israel, and now also they start to advance into Syria, taking Damascus quickly. Also they make a spearhead to Lebanon and they take that nation out, and now they are starting to push both nations. They take Baghdad, move across quickly, and then we'll see the capitulation of these two nations. The blue team is pretty clearly a menace in expansionism because they took all these nations without leaving a little bit of hope for them of maybe rebuilding, and now they'll go for Israel, the country that just gave them military access. And you know, the blue team is pretty unstoppable, so they will also take Israel. And now we see Israel being annexed by the Holy City's blue team, and we see the Holy City's blue team get nukes because Israel had nukes. And now we will see a pretty big coalition forming against them. We see this coalition forming against the Holy City's blue team, which contains Egypt, Turkey and Iran, because all these nations were threatened by the Holy City's blue team, and now this nation is up for battle. We immediately see the Holy City's blue team take out Cyprus because they already had their boats ready to go there and take the island, and now they will go into Egypt and fully kick them out of Asia and take the Suez Canal area, which is very valuable for Egypt. But now we will see the Egyptian forces stop the blue team, and now we see the pushback, which leads to them taking all their land back. And now we see Egypt starting to move across the Jordan, Palestine, Israel area. Thankfully the blue team took the nukes and stored them in the capital, so Egypt didn't just stole the nukes and like regain them, but they will start to move across the blue team. Also Turkey will catch on to what Egypt is trying to do, and they will cut off the Holy City's blue team from the sea. But oh well, Iran wouldn't be so lucky because the world knows that Iran is a dictatorship. It's a very cruel country, so no one really wants it to win and to defeat the blue team. Even though the blue team is the bigger threat, Iran is the more long run threat. They are the threat in the long run. So because of this, the blue team will fortify their front with Egypt and Turkey, and instead they will focus on taking out Iran, landing in their little island right there. And now from the UAE they will make a landing in here, quickly cutting off Iran from the coast. And now Iran is seriously thinking that maybe trying to like send some of their Iran is seriously thinking about sending some test nukes into the blue team, hoping that maybe this will take it down. But the blue team isn't dumb, so they will be the first one to act. They will nuke their capital in Tehran and send some other nukes across Iran, nuking 5 areas. I'm not sure if those are like major military bases or cities or what, but they just nuked them. And I feel like Israel has about 20 to 50 nukes, so the blue team still has quite a lot, and this truly crippled Iran. So this is gonna cause Iran to fall a lot. They lose some areas here, and now they start to push into Turkey up here in the north, while they lose all their northern area. And now the blue team is threatening their capital in Tehran, and now they are starting to push even more, thickening their area here with their mountains, and they cut across to the border of Pakistan, which understandably so feels very threatened. And now Iran is very unstable, and when they lose their capital in Tehran, their people will have revolts, and basically an entire revolution will break out that will decide to surrender over to the blue team. This is the effect of having a dictatorship that's very cruel and that kills its citizens. So now the blue team just won against them, and now they are starting to push back Egypt and Turkey, and they are doing this very efficiently as they push both of them back. And you know, they are starting to get quite stuck, but not in Egypt though, because now here we see them advancing into the Suez Canal area and taking this little Gulf area and start to approach Cairo, but they are now stuck here. And oh, remember what they did to Iran? Yeah, now they will do the same by nuking Cairo. Also because they feel like it, they will nuke Ankara and Istanbul, so they really used nukes. But again, they have around from like, I'd say they have around 40-ish nukes now, so they are good, and due to this now we'll see them quickly moving through Egypt. Already the population sees that they are not winning this war. They will now move across the Nile River base, and because of this Egypt will crumble. Only Turkey is left, and when you have a country like Turkey being left, we will be able to see what will happen and their consequences. Greece just joined the war, and now it's just a game of get rid of Turkey. Now Greece will move across these areas, taking the nuked Istanbul, and they will move across the Turkish coast, and Turkey lost all of its hope. Now Greece and the blue team will meet together, and Turkey will just decide to surrender now. So let's see this huge peace treaty. So as you can see in this massive peace treaty, the blue team became huge. They took a lot of Egypt, the rest being very crippled, so understandably so it will decide to unite over with Sudan. Actually not unite, but in the peace treaty they were split between the blue team and Sudan at the cost of the blue team taking over these little areas that they had disputed with Egypt. So now Sudan is happy. As for the rest of Egypt, it gets annexed in the blue team. Also the blue team takes a huge chunk of Iran and almost all of Turkey, with the rest being taken over by Greece. Also they took over Cyprus, which is pretty big for them. This could be a staging ground for future wars. So let's get in their next war. Also by now I would like to say that they are allied with Greece and with the US, and we'll see why in a second. And reason one is that they are going for the Caucasus nations. So let's see how these nations will fall over to the great blue team empire. Immediately Georgia will get targeted, losing their coastal axis. Then Armenia will just get wiped out because they really have no help to them. And these guys will shortly after fall too, because I don't know, it's just that they are a little weak. The blue team is becoming bigger and bigger as they now fully took the Caucasus, and now they are a super big nation. And now we'll see why they are allied with the United States. Because if we go over to Russia and Ukraine, you know, they have that war in between them that has lasted since 2022. And now the magnificent leader of the United States, which name I won't say, will decide to fix all of this by saying, hey, let's give this land to the blue team, because why not? And these guys will be forced to accept. So let's see the peace deal between the war of Ukraine and Russia. Damn, now the blue team is huge. So in the peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, Russia kind of got screwed up, as well as Ukraine. Now the blue team fully enclosures over the Azov Sea, and Russia basically lost the entire Caucasian area, and Ukraine lost almost all of its coastal axis. And after the blue team became this big and so influential, and now it's allied with countries like the US, and now the blue team has one last final step to fully fulfill their empire. And that, my friends, it's for the blue team to form the old empire. Yep, that's right, this was their plan this whole time. Basically, I mean, this is the Holy Cities blue team, so it makes sense why they wanted to form the old empire. I mean, this was their goal in Wixo, and this is what they wanted to do here. And that's exactly what they did, because they took all this good land, they took all of the Arabian Peninsula, they took a lot of land from Iran, Egypt, and into Europe. And now they formed the old empire, right straight out of Adizz Pro's Wixo. And that's basically it. Now they have allies, they have power, and they are now united under the old empire. And with this we end today's video. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.